Hi guys, it's Saturday. It's cold in the shop. If I look cold, it's really cold. Just want to take a few minutes, answer a couple of questions. A lot of people have been asking about the old cars in the shop. They want to know what is going on with these projects. What are they? Are they mine? Do they belong to me? Do they belong to us? And how come they've been here so long? Pretty easy answers. Lack of time. It's very hard to find the time at night or on the weekends. Sometimes you just gotta recharge the batteries and get some rest. That's kind of what we're doing today. Sean and I are both taking a day off. Just popped in to do a little paperwork. But the cars, everybody's always interested in these cars. This one especially attracts a lot of attention. I'll cut away and give you some other shots here too. But this Cadillac, everybody's always asking about. It's a 1955 Coupe de Ville. It is not mine. None of these cars are mine. This belongs to a nice gentleman who he dropped it off with me some time ago, obviously. And just haven't had the chance. We're getting back on it now. I really need to kick it in gear. Spring is coming, and I know this gentleman would love to drive his car. So with Brian's Thunderbird is in the shop too. Basically the car was off the road for a little while, the Cadillac. He's had some other shops do some other work to it. And some things didn't work out. I'm not sure exactly what they were, if they were just unable to figure out exactly what was going on. But the vehicle it wasn't running well. It wasn't running, it wasn't running properly. It was dying, it was stalling. And we figured that out. That's in the carburetor. We've actually got the carburetor apart at the moment. Working on that. Was able to find a rebuild kit, and we'll be flushing the rest of the fuel system out, cleaning the tank out, blowing the lines out, and that should take care of that. It did run fantastic other than that. Nice and smooth. Really look forward to taking that thing for a test drive when there's no more salt on the roads. Also, it has no brakes, a very minor thing there. So we got to go through the hydraulics. It's an old single circuit hydraulic brake system. So we got to see what's going on with that. It's a pretty decent car. It's not a showstopper. It looks pretty good. It's actually very dirty. And we'll take care of that too. We'll get it all cleaned up for this gentleman. Really nice guy. Haven't talked to him in a long time. But he dropped it off before we moved in here. And I basically asked him, if you can, not for nothing, if you can kind of leave me alone on it, I will gladly take on the project and make this car a wonderful driver again. But we're gonna need some time. We gotta move. That was a big component to it. The other one, I know some of you guys that come in regularly have heard me whining and griping about not having any help, and we have had a big problem with not being able to get personnel. It's not just us, it's industry wide. Lots of other shop owners will tell you the same thing. We've had a few people that were supposed to come on board and didn't, and I never really got answers on why, but it's neither here nor there. Basically, some of this stuff is still sitting around because we thought, we were going to have a lot more help. We thought we'd be further along by now, but I'm going to change some more things, and if anybody is looking for work, there's work. There's work out there. There's our shop and plenty of other shops that need somebody who knows what they're doing. So that's part of it too. The Cadillac. So those are the original three things were making it run right again, getting the brakes fixed, and there's the carburetor. Working on that. And power windows. A lot of people are really surprised to hear that this car has power windows. Yes, power windows were a thing in the 50s. It's very simple. I actually just talked to a gentleman not long ago about rebuilding the rear power window motors. So we'll get those fixed. The fronts, it's basically just needs some wiring redone. Should be not a big deal at all. And this will be a great weekend cruiser for this gentleman. I really look forward to finishing that up for him. This car, this is one of those cars that I think looks better from the rear. This is Brian's 1966 Ford Thunderbird convertible. It's kind of a bunch of minor stuff, odds and ends that need to be done. We're gonna fix a tranny leak. We're gonna go through and make sure the brakes are good. I think everything is good there. We're gonna do a little bit of suspension work. A few electrical things, some interior lighting. The gas gauge doesn't work. We gotta fix that. Not a whole lot. This car runs and drives pretty well. It needs some TLC, and he's been very patient with us. And indoor storage goes a long way with classic car owners. So this car has got the 390 in it. I don't know if it's original or not. I'm not really sure, but it runs pretty good. It runs like $1 million. It's gonna need some basic tune-up stuff, I think, after sitting for the winter, but we do fire it up and move it. Not nearly as big a deal as it is trying to find time to work on it. That's the hardest part there. This is a 1980 Mazda RX-7. This is one of the cars that when people stop by the shop, they want to know, what is that thing? What is that car? And a lot of people just have never seen a first generation RX-7, or at least in a long time, because around here, as you know, there's not very many of these. They're all rotted away. This car is another one. This one was really off the road for a long time. I think the last inspection sticker was 2005, and it's been sitting. I know it was at a couple other shops, and somebody went through, did some fuel system work on it, and it does run on substitute fuel. The clutch was all seized up, and basically it had no clutch at all. It was just always in neutral. So we have gone through the motions of putting a new clutch in it, and I didn't grab a light, but you can see there's a new clutch in there. We had the flywheel turned. We put a new rear main seal in it. This is a very original car. You can see it's got a little, it's got some little issues with the doors. You know, there's some perforation, there's some rust in there, but it's very original. It's got some really old Bridgestones on it that are gonna have to go away before we test drive this car, which I think is gonna be pretty cool. So I know the ignition and everything works because it did run. I'm gonna put some fresh tires on it. We're gonna have to go through the brakes on that, just like the Cadillac, because anybody who's ever let a car sit around for a bunch of years knows that that is not what the hydraulic brake system is designed to do. That goes away and turns into mush. So that's what's going on there. That's the explanation of the project car stuff. Let me know if you have any questions. Put something in the comments. Tell me what you think. Thanks for watching.